So Dan, as you know, last 3 years I've been saving really hard and I really want to buy a property in the area. But within the 3 years, I've had to move back from the family to really focus on saving as much as I can. I'm now renting again. Rent seems to always be going up. Have you got any advice on how I can get on the property market?
Yeah, we've tried two of the main things by trying to save as much as you can and even moving back in and saving on rent, but those luckily aren't the only things you can do. There's also compromising a little bit on where you live. It's easy to decide on what your dream home is and exactly where you want to live and stick just rigidly to that, but I mean, for me, I wanted to live in the town I live in the centre, so I was near where the beer and music and food happened, but I couldn't afford it, and I bought a place a couple of years ago that's a bit further out, doesn't have a garden, but it did get me on the property ladder, and I can always move in a few years if I can afford it, and then you just got to remember you don't have to stay in your first home forever.
If I was to just find a property that wasn't the ideal property in my mind, will I get the same sort of deals if I buy my next home, or is there some sort of first time deal you can get? Or
yeah, you're right. You can get first time buyer mortgages and even some government schemes that can help you buy your first home. The problem being, if you do end up buying somewhere in a couple of years' time, you won't be able to use them again, but it is a good helping hand to get onto the ladder in the first place.
Okay, so these government schemes, can they help me buy any property?
Well, the main one's called Help to Buy, and that can only be used for new builds, which is great if where you want to live has some newly built homes in it, but unfortunately you can't get them everywhere. If you are able to, though, you can put in a 5% deposit, get a loan for up to 20% of what the house costs from the government, and you pay no interest on that for 5 years. Then you cover the rest of it with your mortgage, which ends up being a lot less than if you're going in just on your own.
Why do they cost less when you have a bigger deposit? Obviously, I know you obviously buy more of the property, but is that the only influence on the cost?
It's not, no. You've touched on one of the main points there, which is the bigger your deposit, the smaller your mortgage amount, because you've paid for more of your house yourself. But on top of that, lenders usually give you much better interest rates if you put down more yourself, because they see it as less of a risk to lend you money that way, and the lower the interest rate, the less you pay back every month.
Okay. So I've heard they are looking to maybe build some new builds where I want to buy, but they've been talking about it for ages. Do I sit around maybe try and save a little bit more, or is it worth maybe buying something that isn't brand new and then looking for maybe the ideal property later?
I wouldn't rely on new builds, because we wanted to buy one, and the problem we had was that was 2.5 years ago. They were supposed to be ready, and they're still not even finished now.
Oh.
So sometimes it's best just to buy when you're ready and not to base your decision on what other people are doing.
So are all mortgage interest rates more or less the same? Like, can I just go to my bank and be pretty safe that I'm not going to get a good deal?
I wouldn't recommend that at all, because you get a wide range of rates. You can end up paying so much more if you just go for the first mortgage you find. Whereas if you use, say, a comparison website or a broker, you can look at every single mortgage on the market, and the lower the interest rate again, the less you'll be paying every month.
Is it a lot of work to kind of go through all of the mortgage rates?
It would be if you just look through every single one individually, but using a comparison website can just narrow them down to exactly the ones you want. You can change the results by the interest rate, or contact a broker who can look through them for you and let you know what's going to cost you the least.
Okay. What if I've got my bank account or my savings with one bank and I find a really good mortgage rate somewhere else? Is there going to be any problems?
No, there's nothing to stop you getting your mortgage with a different company and keeping your bank account where it is now if you want to. Okay. That's something you can do.
Would there be any benefit to moving if I had to?
Moving your bank account to the company you want to get a mortgage with?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Some offer exclusive deals for their existing customers, but often you have to have banked with them for a little while. So there'd be no point moving now and plan to get a mortgage with them in a year, because in a year's time they might not even offer the best rates they want.
Right. Well, that's a lot of food for thought. I think I'm going to hit those old comparison sites and see what properties are out there and see what I can do.
I just went to see you at the housewarming.
Yeah, see you then.